Hey guys, Horizon here, coming at you with another deck profile. Today we're actually be doing Eldlich, because for the Hero versus Eldlich deck profile, where I didn't actually have the Eldlich, I had Paleo Eldlich, but this is my new version of the deck, and I hope you guys enjoy this. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. Please leave a like, a comment, and share this around with your friends. I'm actually really happy that we got 60 subscribers at the time of recording this, and it's really mind-blowing. We're almost to 100 subscribers, and that's just shocking. I never thought I'd actually get this far.
Actually, that's a lie. At the time of recording of that deck profile, I was at 60 subscribers, but now at the time of editing this video, it's been 95 subscribers. So just want to clarify that. And enough of me talking. Let's continue with the video.
3 copies of Rainbow Curry. Oh, not Rainbow Curry, but Curry Bandit. Let's see if that camera can catch up. Yep, Curry Bandit. So, with Curry Bandit, it just allows you to mill stuff to the graveyard, along with another card I play. But this one, normal summon on the end phase, tribute it, and activate 5, add a spell, and then dump the rest. So it just allows you to get your Eldlich cards into the graveyard, and allows you to add those traps that are typically don't have graveyard effects. Next, this is my spicy one, 3 Ultra Guys Pixel. This one is just like Curry Bandit. I don't know why I keep calling it Rainbow Kariba, but just like our Curry Bandit, our Ultra Guys Pixel. You just on summon, you can a spell you want. So use normal summon, activate effect, tribute yourself, and then activate the top 3. Try to add an Ultra Guys card, but then dump the rest. If you can't add an Ultra Guys card, you just dump the 3 cards, and so you're typically just waiting for it to dump 3 Eldlich cards to the graveyard. Next, the cards I've been experimenting with: 2 Ash Blossom, 2 Ghost Spell, and 2 Ghost Ogre. Typically, I don't like playing hand traps on my builds, but since since this deck doesn't really rely on normal summoning and typically I'm milling a lot, I wanted to try it out, and still on iffy with the hand traps. I don't like playing them just because they're a brick and they don't allow me to get extended ability, because I'd rather be top decking cards I need instead of drawing hand traps. Next, for my real spicy, Electromagnetic Turtle. So 2 copies of this. I don't really have a way to search it or anything like that. It's just when I'm constantly milling cards to the graveyard. I want to put this card as fast as I can to the graveyard. With this deck, I actually struggle against OTK decks, and that was one of the major issues. And you saw that in the Hero versus Eldlich. I actually used Electromagnetic Turtle to keep myself alive. Sadly, I couldn't top deck anything to really keep myself alive in that duel. So this is just here just to keep myself from being OTK'd or just them pushing for game if we're in a strong grind. And how can we forget the Golden Eldlich himself, I guess. So, no introduction. He is the Goldie Boy, and he's the fabulous gold rare. And lastly, one for Raw for Online, because you can special off Sanguine, and also it's fun to watch your opponent squirm, I guess. Moving on to the spells. Not a lot of spells, so I'll try to be a little quick. So, 3 Black Awakening, or Black Destiny. Yeah, no, it's Black Awakening. I always get those mixed up. So this one just allows you to special some Eldlich, and possibly Frontline if you have a control Eldlich, and just allows you to get more golden lands. Next, 3 copies of Curse Eldland. Typically, you should know what Curse Eldland does. Allows you to add. He's typically your scout of the deck. Just pay 100, search for Eldlich or Golden Lord. If this card sends to the graveyard, you can allow to send a Golden Land or a Golden Lord to the graveyard. So, overall, it's really, really good. You want to see this card all the time. And lastly, for spells, 2 White Destiny. This is just allow you to special summon monsters, keep yourself alive from dying, especially like just get Golden Lord from the graveyard if he ever gets blown up or like sent to the graveyard that way. Moving on to the spells. I kind of have this backwards, but I'll keep going. So, 1 Eldorado, Eldorado, yeah. It's this card. So, this card's more for recovery. I play 1 copy of it because if I'm playing a long grind game, I want to see this card in like late game. So I only play one copy. I used to play two for my Paleo build, but I decided because I'm playing so many hand traps and I'm playing so many other cards that are not Eldlich, this is a little bit less of a break during early games. So this just allows me to shuffle back three elixirs to destroy all of the cards on the field. And remember, if Eldlich uses graveyard effect, you can revive. It cannot be destroyed by your own effects. And if the second effect, if shuffle back three golden lands, you have your opponent's life away and then you gain it. This is not bad, doesn't come up often, but actually I was able to pull this off against them with my old Paleo deck, which allowed me to survive against Dragon Link when they had full combo and I couldn't do anything about that. Next to Judgment, because Lightning Storm, Heartbeat Feather Duster are all good in the format. Also, Red Reboot's still here somehow, and you just gotta have these to protect yourself. Next, here's another spicy attack that I play. Vendread Reorigin. Target one monster your opponent controls. Tribute it that has, or target one monster your opponent controls that has a level. Tribute it. It becomes a zombie with the same level, but is 0 attacks or events. And after that, you count no more special summon monsters except Vendread monsters. So typically, you're not going to be using that. You're going to be using this in the last card in your combo. This is your last card. This is your basically your, I guess, last resort for the ability to tribute a monster and then summon a token, which you can use for either link summoning or just something else. So typically it's just another way to disrupt your opponent, because if you're out of Conquistadors, you're out of Hakietos, you're out of Guardians, you're going to be wanting something else to keep yourself from dying, especially targeting tributing is not the worst case of removal. Next, 2 copies Lost Wind. I really don't need to explain this one. Target a special monster, negate its effects, and guess what? It resets itself if a monster special from the extra deck. So overall, it's just good recursion and also keeps your opponent on their toes for the ability. So you negate their stuff, they extra deck, and they have to deal with another one. So typically I'm playing 4 copies because of the fact that these can reset themselves twice. Or one each because they banish themselves, leave the field. Next, 2 copies of Golden Land. This is just another counter trap that typically just allows you to help out. I play 3 Conquistador. This is your main disruption, allowing you to pop cards on your opponent's turn and setting elixirs during the end phase. And there's not really much to explain about that. Just if you're looking for an Eldlich deck, you should know what these cards do. I'm just stating my opinion and my thought process. 2 Guardian. Typically, this is actually an interesting one. Most people play 1 or 0, but I play 2 just because it allows me to out Dragoon because of its non-targeting dropping monster to 0. So typically, that's just a great way to out. But also, Forward Line is kind of the same thing that allows me to out Dragoon because I can boost up Eldlich by 3,000. So it's not the worst case scenario. Even less Eldlich did have his way to boost over him by 500, but if Dragoon negates something, you have to find a way to keep yourself from being dead. And lastly, for the Golden Lands, Hakieto. This is your DD Crow of the deck. This just allows you to just get some resources onto the field and banish some cards while you're at it. And last cards is Sanguine. This is basically your go-to if you need to see this card all the time. If you really wanted to, right now this is a 44 card deck, but if you really wanted to, you can take out a couple cards. I would suggest maybe the hand traps to put in, maybe like Foolish Burial Goods, or just other ways to put. You technically can play like a Sky Striker package, not a Sky Striker package, but cards they played in Sky Striker, like the Foolish Burial package, where you play 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods and Metal Fusion to get that additional draw. But also you can just play these because you'll mill these to set Golden Lands. But it's just overall to get you your Sanguine just overall able to get your zombies onto the field. So you get Eldlich. If you already control Eldlich, you can special summon Forward Line, you can special summon Ash Blossom, you can special summon Ghost Spell. And another spicy attack that I do play in my side, and that is Doom King Balderak, because all your Golden Lands are treated as monsters when they activate their effect, so Balderak can get a free banish. Moving on to the side, I play 2 copies of Doom King Balderok. This is just a interesting tech. I want them to waste resources on this card. This is typically just a target just to scare them. I haven't. Only ways I really have a way to get out is Sanguine and White Destiny. Also Black Awakening, Fatal Eldlich, and kind of all the elixirs that allow you to do that. But overall, it's just a good way to keep your opponent on their toes for their, because when you activate like Conquistador, Guardian, or Hakieto, or even like Frontline or Eldlich, this guy can banish a card. So it's not bad, and he can stop hand traps. Well, zombie hand traps, so like Ghost Bell, Ghost Mourner, Ash. Typically the essentials. Can't stop effect failure and permanence though, so be careful with that. Next, since this deck doesn't rely on normal summoning, and especially if I'm forced to go second, I side out my mill package, so now I'll put in the Lava Golem to really keep myself alive and not deal with their multiple negates, because this format, there's a lot of multiple negations, so I always have to be careful with that. And the burn sometimes comes up if time of the round is called, but it doesn't happen a lot. Next, here's another time card. This one's a little bit more funny. Emergency Provision. I've actually won a couple duels because of this card, for his ability to allow me to set 4 cards, Emergency Provision, send all of them to the graveyard, and then during the end phase or during my turn, banish and set more golden lands and elixirs, depending what I sent to the graveyard. And my dog barking in the background. Great. Thanks, Xena. Okay, let's speed this up. 2 Super Polys, because typically when the new Eldlich comes out in Blazing Vortex, that comes out like, the sneak peek is this Saturday at the time of recording. It is the 27th, Wednesday. So these are just for the new fusion, but also I do play like Necroworld, what is it? The whatever guy. Yeah, Necro Soul Dragon. It's kind of hard to see his name, but right, but typically this is my Super Poly target to push for more damage. And then 3 anti-spell, because I hate Virtual World, I really just hate Virtual World. It's been bothering me a lot. And people who like to mass produce and do a lot of things, Sky Striker, they can set their cards first, like they're playing Ultra guys. But typically this is just a good way to stop your opponent to play massive spells. And lastly, Dogmatic Punishment, and I should put this with the anti-spell, but order, just to stop spells. And Punishment, I'll go over the extra deck. I don't play Natess because I don't have it. If you do play this card, play Natess, it's really good. Moving on to the extra deck. This is my target for Punishment, and that is Wing Pegasus Adagnister, just because it allows you to shuffle cards when your cards are destroyed. Then Dreadnought, Railcan for time in the round. I fear time in the round because a lot of my decks do grind out, so I always want to have versatility on if I really want to win. I don't stall. I will never stall. If time round conveniently happens, I will find. I do have lots of ways to get a game on board. Then Nether Souls, this is just for pushing for damage with my Super Poly, and that's about it. Borrowload, if I need to steal something that's kind of problematic that Eldlich can't get over. Bear Keyboard Blocker if I want to recover my Curse Outland or any of my continuous spells. Proxy F, this is for the new Eldlich fusion. When he comes out, he just allows you to fusion summon monsters onto the field, and also be careful as effect monsters. So you need either like Frontline and Eldlich, or Eldlich and our hand trap or something, because it's 2 effect monster. All your golden lands are treated as normal monsters, so it doesn't count to make for a summon. But he just allows you to fusion summon without using polymerization, so it's not bad. Then 2 Akashic Magician. This is honestly just a funny card. I like bouncing their Appaloozas or something, or at least baiting it out with it. For its just ability to win special summon, bounce. I know a lot of people haven't seen this card since Grinder Golem, but if you people who haven't seen Grinder Golem, don't look it up. This card's that card was annoying. Okay. But Akashic Magician, it's sometimes funny to see. It also helps me with toolboxing. I typically make my decks, or at least my extra decks, around toolboxing. And then, lastly, Avenged Savior and Vampire Sucker, or my locals call it the Suck. So what this one just allows me to dump Eldlich when it battles, and these allow me to revive zombies to get that additional draw, which is really necessary in the term of these decks. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.